The Art of War, Beyond Clever Tricks. Hey there, today, we're diving into Sun Tzu's The Art of War. But hold on, we're about to challenge some common misconceptions right off the bat. You know how people often lump the art of war together with the 36 stratagems? Well, they're barking up the wrong tree. Sun Tzu wasn't all about clever tricks and sneaky plans. Nope, he was way more practical than that. Let's start with the very first chapter, laying plans. In Chinese, it's just one character, Ji. Now, don't get it twisted, this isn't about hatching schemes. It's about good old-fashioned calculation. Sun Tzu was all about crunching the numbers, not pulling rabbits out of hats. Why does this matter? Well, it's human nature to look for shortcuts, right? We all want that magic bullet, that clever trick that'll solve all our problems. But Sun Tzu, he wasn't having any of that. His book isn't about winning through trickery, it's about winning through solid strategy and real strength. So what was Sun Tzu really talking about? He focused on the basics, not fancy footwork. He laid out 5 key factors and 7 calculations. These were all about comparing your side to the enemy's. 1. Which leader has the moral high ground? 2. Which general is more capable? 3. Who has the advantage of weather and terrain? 4. Whose laws and commands are followed more strictly? 5. Which army is stronger? 6. Which side has better trained troops? 7. Whose system of rewards and punishments is clearer? Sound familiar? It's like the SWOT analysis we use in modern business: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Sun Tzu was doing corporate strategy 2,500 years before it was cool. But here's the kicker. The goal of all this number crunching wasn't to find a sneaky way to win. It was to figure out if you should fight at all. Sun Tzu's core idea was this: win first, then go to war. Or as I like to put it, only fight when you've already won. Now, that might not sound as exciting as all those stories about clever tricks and daring plans. But that's the point. Real strategy, the kind that wins wars and builds empires. It often looks boring from the outside. It's not about flashy moves, it's about solid foundations. So next time you're facing a big challenge, remember Sun Tzu. Don't look for tricks, do your homework, crunch the numbers. And only move forward when you know you've got what it takes to win. That's the real art of war. Sun Tzu's respect for the gravity of war. Now, let's talk about something really important in Sun Tzu's philosophy, his deep respect for the seriousness of war. Right at the start of his book, he drops this heavy truth bomb. Warfare is the greatest affair of state, the basis of life and death, the way to survival or extinction. It must be thoroughly pondered and analyzed. Whoa, right? Sun Tzu's not messing around here. He's saying, look, this war stuff, it's not a game, it's life and death. It's the survival of your entire nation we're talking about here, so you better take it seriously. This idea of treating serious matters with deep respect. It's not just a Sun Tzu thing, it's a big deal in Chinese philosophy. Confucius talked about it too, calling it watchful attention to detail in solitude. It's about always being aware, always thinking carefully about your actions. But here's where Sun Tzu takes it to another level. He's not just saying be careful in war. He's saying the whole point of his teachings is to avoid war altogether. Yeah, you heard that right. The guy who wrote The Art of War was actually all about not fighting if you can help it. His ideal scenario: win without fighting. Make your position so strong, your strategy so perfect, that the enemy gives up without a single arrow being fired. That's the real victory in Sun Tzu's book. So why don't we hear more about this? Well, it's not as exciting as tales of brilliant battle tactics, is it? Sun Tzu even says, the skillful warriors of old first made themselves invincible, and then awaited the enemy's moment of vulnerability. Not exactly Hollywood material, right? But here's the thing. This isn't just about ancient warfare. This idea of treating big decisions with deep respect, of preparing so well that you win before you even start, that applies to all of us, every day. Think about it. In business, in relationships, in any big life decision. What if we approached them all with this level of careful thought? What if, before making any move, we really considered all the angles, all the potential consequences? Imagine a world where everyone thought like this. where every business decision was made with full awareness of its impact on employees, customers, and society, where every personal choice was made with a deep understanding of how it might affect our lives and the lives of those around us. That's the real lesson from Sun Tzu. It's not about clever tricks or brilliant battle plans. It's about understanding the weight of our decisions, preparing thoroughly, and striving to succeed without causing harm. So next time you're facing a big decision, channel your inner Sun Tzu. Take a step back. Think it through. Consider all the angles. And remember, the greatest victory is the one where everyone wins and no one has to lose. Now that's an art of war we could all use a little more of, don't you think? The art of military leadership, balancing 5 virtues. Hey there, strategy enthusiasts. Today, we're diving deep into Sun Tzu's The Art of War, specifically his take on what makes a great military leader. Buckle up, because this is gonna be a wild ride through ancient wisdom that's still incredibly relevant today. Let's start with Sun Tzu's own words. The general is the bulwark of the state. If the bulwark is complete at all points, the state will be strong. If the bulwark is defective, the state will be weak. Now, Sun Tzu lists 5 qualities of a great general: wisdom, trustworthiness, benevolence, courage, and strictness. But here's the kicker. He puts them in that specific order. Yep, wisdom comes first, and courage. It's way down in 4th place. Let's break these down. 1. Wisdom I Jun. This is all about being able to adapt, to see the big picture, to plan ahead. As the commentator Dumu put it, the way of the ancient kings put benevolence first, but in military affairs, wisdom takes precedence. Another commentator, Shen Baoxu, added, without wisdom, one cannot understand the limits of the people and cannot measure the multitudes of the world. It's about understanding your own limits and the bigger picture. 2. Trustworthiness, XUN. This isn't just about keeping your word, it's about being consistent and fair with rewards and punishments. Dumu nails it. It's about making sure people aren't confused about what gets rewarded and what gets punished. Here's a historical tidbit. The Qin dynasty conquered 6 other states, largely thanks to this principle. They had a crystal clear system. 1 enemy head equals 1 rank promotion. Talk about motivation. And get this, there's a modern twist on this from West Point Military Academy. They teach leaders to have the welfare of your subordinates in mind and make sure they know it. It's not just about a system, it's about a mindset. 3. Benevolence A Ren. In a military context, you bet, Dumu describes it as loving people and having compassion for things, understanding the hardships of labor. It's about caring for your troops, understanding their struggles. There's a famous story about Wu Che, a general who sucked pus from a soldier's infected foot. Gross, right? But it showed he cared. The twist. The soldier's mother cried when she heard this, saying her son would now fight to the death for such a caring leader. 4. Courage A Ying. Dumu describes this as being decisive in victory, seizing opportunities without hesitation. It's not just about being fearless, it's about making tough decisions and sticking to them. 5. Strictness, Yan. Dumu says this is about using strict laws to keep the army in order. It's about discipline and maintaining standards. Here's where it gets really interesting. Sun Tzu isn't saying you need just 1 or 2 of these. You need all 5, working together in harmony. One commentator, Jia Lin, put it brilliantly. If you rely solely on wisdom, you become crafty. If you're only benevolent, you become weak. If you stick only to trustworthiness, you become foolish. If you depend only on courage, you become violent. And if you're only strict, you become cruel. Now, let's talk about a real-world application of this. Remember Zhang Gofan, the famous Qing dynasty general? He was originally a scholar, not a soldier. When he first started leading troops, he felt totally out of his depth. So what did he do? He read The Art of War every single day, trying to embody these 5 qualities. But Zhang realized something important. He added 2 more qualities to Sun Tzu's list: incorruptibility, Lian, and clarity, Ming. Here's his reasoning. Incorruptibility. Soldiers might not be able to judge if their general is a military genius, but they can definitely tell if he's honest with money and fair in promotions. Zhang made sure his accounts were transparent and often gave small bonuses to his troops. Clarity. This meant clearly observing and recording every soldier's performance, both in battle and in daily duties, who charged forward, who hesitated, who worked hard, who slacked off. By keeping track of all this, Zheng could reward and punish accurately and fairly. Zheng believed that with these two qualities as a foundation, the other 5 could be gradually developed. Without them, the rest were meaningless. Here's a final nugget of wisdom. As a leader, don't just focus on getting things done. Pay attention to how your team members contribute. Know exactly who did what, and reward or correct accordingly. That's how you build a team that will follow you anywhere. Remember, even the great Xiongnu, known for his bravery in charging into battle, lost to Liu Bang, who was better at recognizing and rewarding his subordinates' contributions. As a leader, seeing and acknowledging your team's efforts clearly is often more important than being the first to charge in. So, there you have it, Sun Tzu's Guide to Leadership, spiced up with some real-world applications. Next time you're in a leadership position, remember, it's not just about being the bravest or the strictest. It's about finding that perfect balance of wisdom, trust, care, courage, and discipline, all built on a foundation of honesty and clear judgment. That's what turns a good leader into a great one. And hey, if you're feeling overwhelmed, just remember, even the great generals of history had to start somewhere. They weren't born perfect leaders. They worked at it every single day, so can you. Moving on, we'll explore a crucial aspect of leadership, establishing military law and management systems. Sun Tzu wrote, "The law is about organization, chain of command, and resource management." He emphasized that all great generals understand these 5 elements: the way, heaven, earth, command, and law. Those who master them will be victorious, while those who don't are doomed to fail. It's interesting that law is listed last. Many people underestimate its importance, thinking it's just about strict discipline. In reality, it's a highly technical aspect that occupies most of a general's work. The actual fighting is just a small part of the job. Let's break this down. Organization refers to the structure of units, use of flags and drums for signaling, and the command system. Chain of command is about personnel management. Resource management covers logistics and finances. In essence, law is about management, the methods and systems used to run an army. This concept has evolved into modern management theory, which has its roots in military administration. Creating an effective organizational structure is incredibly complex. It's like running a big company. If management can't keep up with rapid growth, the whole thing can fall apart. That's why we often see companies going through organizational changes. When done right, it can breathe new life into the business. When done poorly, everything grinds to a halt. In China today, we see this principle at work with the formation of many small groups to push forward reforms. It's a way to adapt the organizational structure, command chain, and resource allocation to changing needs. We often describe a hero as someone with both great talent and grand vision. Zhang Zuliang once compared his father and Chiang Kai-shek, saying, "My father had great talent, but lacked grand vision, while Chiang had grand vision, but lacked great talent." This observation is spot on. Zhang Zuolin was a talented leader, but lacked political foresight. Chiang Kai-shek had a clear political agenda, but was somewhat lacking in practical skills. The way, heaven, and earth represent the grand vision, while command and law represent the talent, the ability to organize, motivate, control, and drive progress. Look at successful entrepreneurs. They all have both talent and vision. But talent is often more crucial because vision can be borrowed from advisors, while talent is inherent. With talent alone, one can become a great business leader. With vision alone, in ancient times, you'd be a strategist or advisor. Today, you might run a consulting firm. Throughout history, successful founders have often paired a talented ruler with a visionary advisor. Think of Liu Bei and Zhu Zhiliang, Zhu Yuanzhang and Liu Bowen, or Liu Bang and Zihe. Now, let's talk about the way, which is essentially soft power. Sun Tzu wrote, "Which ruler has the moral law?" This concept of moral law, or the way, is about unity between the ruler and the people. It means sharing the fruits of victory, treating the people well, and being generous with rewards to subordinates. Historians often use the example of Han Din choosing between Liu Bang and Xiongnu to illustrate this point. Han Din said that Xiongnu was cruel to the people and stingy with rewards, while Liu Bang was generous and fair. Liu Bang was indeed known for his generosity. During the revolution, he was spending other people's money, so he could afford to be liberal. But even when it was his own resources, he remained generous. When he announced a reward for Xiongnu's head, he ended up giving the promised title to 5 different people who all claimed credit. Liu Bang's way was about having effective incentive mechanisms for his subordinates and good policies for the people. Politically, he was leagues ahead of Xiongnu. When Liu Bang first conquered the Qin territory, he didn't plunder or abuse the people. Instead, he sealed the treasury, returned to his camp, and issued just 3 laws for the people: death for murder, punishment for injury, and restitution for theft. He abolished all other harsh Qin laws. This made the people of Qin love and support him throughout his later struggles with Xiongnu. Xiongnu, on the other hand, massacred the surrendered Qin soldiers, killed the Qin heir who had already surrendered to Liu Bang, looted the treasures and women, and burned down the Qin palace. His actions showed that he was more interested in personal gain than in ruling effectively. This concept of the way isn't just for ancient rulers, it's about soft power and charisma. It's the ability to inspire and lead without relying solely on force or resources. Even small organizations or individuals can practice this principle, gaining support and influence through their actions and character. Sun Tzu then lists 7 factors to consider when assessing the situation: which ruler has the moral law? Which commander has the most ability? Which army benefits from heaven and earth? On which side is discipline most rigorously enforced? Which army is stronger? On which side are officers and men more highly trained? In which army is there the greater constancy both in reward and punishment? By weighing these 7 factors, Sun Tzu claims he can forecast victory or defeat. He advises, while heading the profit of my counsel, avail yourself also of any helpful circumstances over and beyond the ordinary rules. According as circumstances are favorable, one should modify one's plans. This systematic approach to strategy emphasizes the importance of comprehensive analysis before engaging in battle. It's not just about military strength, but also about leadership, training, discipline, and even moral authority. The lesson here isn't just for military leaders. Whether you're running a business, leading a team, or pursuing personal goals, considering these factors can help you assess your strengths and weaknesses, as well as those of your competitors or challenges. It's about understanding the full picture before making crucial decisions. Remember, in any endeavor, preparation and understanding are key. As the saying goes, knowledge is power. By thoroughly analyzing all aspects of a situation, you put yourself in the best position to succeed.